Good evening, and sorry for being late on Lazy Mini Painting. I'm Laz, your host. Thank you for coming to join me if you're here. If you're catching me not live, please hit a like, leave a comment, let me know that you've come, if you liked it, all that stuff. We are working on the magical world of sparkles and oak this evening, and I'm about 10 minutes late for everything, including my setup and getting myself ready and all of it. I'm just late. So I'm just going to do the quick stuff where I can come and join you in portrait mode, and I'm going to get started as quick as I can. Let me just turn the volume down, turn the notifications off, and get ready to come and join you all. I say all, I have no idea how many people are in the portrait view, but yes, we're going to get started pretty quickly on this. Get rid of all that, and then click on there, and boom, there we go. Right. So last week, when we were working on the magical world of sparkles and oak, we built up the next floor. Now we need to top it off with something, and I've got a couple of characters to glue on, and then Mod Podge the front of this so I can paint it with other things, potentially with the airbrush. So again, move all the characters out of the way that technically are kind of in the way at the moment. I have spoken to the person who chose Chester's name, and we have a class now for Chester. We have a class. Good evening, Graham. Good evening. I have no idea what your conversation was all about earlier on with Dave. That was a lot of technical jargon that I did not understand. I've made a decision with this top layer. And now I know I've got like sand on this layer down here, and I've got the lolly sticks here for this layer. For this one, I'm actually going to go really, really simple. Now, yesterday I got a new battle map with Combat Patrol, and that looks just perfect to cut out and glue on. So I'm going to cut that down a little bit to make it more manageable, and then I'm going to cut it to match here and glue it onto that. That's going to take longer to dry than anything else, so I'm going to get that started first. Like I said, I'm going to cut a section out of it first of all, just so I can glue it on and template it up. In fact, in this case, I'm not even going to template it up. I'm going to glue it on and then cut it off afterwards. It just seems to make more sense for me. But rather than throwing that away, at least I found a use for it. Now, I can't use the 1, 2, 3 blocks. Good evening, Ted Tuck. Oh, Ted Tuckerman. Good evening. How are you doing, mate? You alright? Hello to you and everybody else who's joined in portrait mode. We have just started. So first of all, I'm going to have to open the glue. Is the glue even open? Yeah, it is. I'm sorry about the shine off my head as well today. I normally wear my lid so you don't get that shine, but I've not got my lid on, and I've only just shaved my head. It feels really, really, really weird when you put a hat on just after. So spreading this about with a little bit of offcut that we've used from the corrugated card for the front. So this is going to take absolutely ages to dry. Which is always fun. And it's going to be simply slap that on. Oh, it's your camera lens issues you was discussing earlier, was it, Graham? Excellent. Yeah, I can't remove the lens off this one, I don't think. So I'm not sure if that would necessarily be relevant. I might have some of the ISO things available, but I'm not sure how to access them. So I'm going to leave that on there, and please do, Mick. Please do. I could certainly do with that right now. Yesterday was not a fun day. Today I've been extremely tired because of it. So it's been a bit awkward. Right, so while I wait for that to dry, so it's at least in a position where I can cut it. Good evening, Twisted. How are you, mate? How are you? I hope you're feeling better than you were this morning. And I know I've not been responding to many things today, but I have been essentially catching up because I've been in bed for most of it, and it's not fun. So now that we've done that glue bit, I need to find the snooper glue, which is not that one, because that one's empty. Where's my other snooper glue gone? Ted, have you got any idea, mate? Graham, can you see it? Twisted. Anyone spot it? Let me know. Not the plastic glue, which is there. I want super glue. So 400 quid for another lens. Jeez, that's a lot. That, Graham, that's a lot. That's more than I spent on my entire camera setup. Oh, I would love one. What am I doing this weekend? What am I doing? I have a feeling I'm doing something this weekend. Oh, what is it? I know I'm doing something apart from looking for super glue. I only had this the other day. Oh, it's gone the way of the wet palette, hasn't it? Oh no, found it. It was hiding behind the dice. It was hiding behind the dice. So while I wait for this to dry, I'm going to glue the bunny back onto her base and the rogue back onto his base. I've just put one of them down and I'm not sure where I've put it. But I do know I have multiples of that. Oh, there it is. It's right next to me. So we have the two bases and we have the two people to go on. So that should be fun. Right, while I'm waiting for that to dry so I can cut round and make it the curved section, and then I can come back in with Mod Podge across the corrugated card. I do have to move it out of the way because I don't want to drop super glue on any of this foam and just melt it through. That is a bad idea, considering I've been working on this thing for months upon months upon months upon months upon months. I don't want to mess it up. So super glue to glue things back on. I don't recommend using teeth, regardless of how effective I think they are. They are not necessarily the best in the world, and you could damage them, so please don't do that. I'm very much I'll show you what not to do so you can avoid it in that place. Thank you very much, Mick. Thank you very much. In regarding that, I could, yeah, if you was gonna do that, I'd like to arrange something more like what happened when I came over to see you. So it's a more of a party atmosphere. I'm not saying that my house is I can't have a party atmosphere. It's just that I don't smoke at all in the house. So to do that means I would have to arrange somewhere else for me, you, and a couple of mates. Quite honest, I'd like you to meet somewhere for us all to go and be able to sit down in comfort. But yeah, I'd rather do that. That'll be a much better thing. But yeah, I'm more than up for you coming over, mate. Fact, has Buzzard popped in yet either as well? No, I can't see him. If Buzzard pops in, that's somebody else I'd like to, if he was able to, come over and join us. Of course, I was like Twisted to be able to come over and join us as well, but it's a little bit different for him to get over here. He's got like cross oceans and stuff. No worries, right? That sounds like something we can arrange. I'm not sure how. Yeah, I'm arranging that. get it for when I really want it, and when it's probably the best timing, that would be good as well. Because there's certain times coming up that I can ask for certain things and push my luck a little bit. A little bit, not too much. Bear in mind, Sparkles is still the one in charge. But yeah, I would quite happily arrange that. So hopefully there's the bat's gonna stay where he is, and Bunny's gonna stay where she is while that glue dries. This is going a lot quicker than I originally expected, which scares me a lot. It does scare me when things go quicker than I actually want them to. So I'm waiting for drying time. Excellent. So there's no treatment planned, and you've recovered from the London trip with Joey. I should imagine that trip was quite an interesting one, and you've got a couple of stories to tell about that one. So again, I would be interested to just have the chat about that. It's like, how was your trip to London with Joey and going watching an American football match and all sorts of weird things. So, as I was saying, we now have Chester, who is a bard, not a wizard, not a sorcerer, not a full spellcaster, a bard. Don't know where we. Yeah, I'm not asking the thought process. I'm just happy that they responded and said, right, no, bard. Cool. They wanted to go for a rogue, and I think they forgot the fact that they're carrying a big bloody staff. So that doesn't work too well. So while I'm waiting for more stuff to dry, I do have stuff to base coat to dry as well for 40k. So I'm slightly going to sidetrack a little bit at the moment, just so I'm not sat here doing nothing. And I can at least be doing something while I'm waiting for that. I just need to find a decent enough brush to be doing essentially base coats. Because I've still not done the base coats on the Votann that I'm supposed to be sending off to EB. And there's still the 5 models. So I'm going to quickly base coat these while I'm waiting for things to dry. With the very dark grey that the majority of them are already done in. I think the only one that isn't done in the dark grey is the Carl. That's the only one. So I'm just going to base coat these while we wait for drying, and then I'll go get the Mod Podge and we'll start off trimming and painting and colouring in those sections. And then we can start cutting out the bases for the next models that will be going onto that floor and that layer. What happened in London stays in London. Is that because you don't want to get Joey in trouble, or is that because you don't want to get yourself in trouble? Good evening, Ali. Hello. It's alright, Ali, I'm late. I was late as well. I started closer to 22 than past tonight. Oh, it's not. It is. Don't worry about it. I'm not going to hold it against you. I'm just doing bits to fill time at the moment. I should have done this essentially last week and had it sent off already. But I'm just waiting for the money to transfer so I can send it. As I said, this is being sent out to my Patreon subscriber at the moment, my only Patreon subscriber. There are benefits sometimes to, apart from just getting my time, to being a Patreon subscriber when I can feasibly afford to do it. So this is the first time I'm doing it. As I said, the Genestealer Cults will be the next one if I can get enough to at least afford the shipping during that time. but they're going to come through so quickly that EB on his own is not going to pay for the shipping. He's only managed this one because it's been a while, and I've been concentrating on other stuff while I've been collecting these. I don't know what to do with the Genestealer cults. I really don't. And always in the back of my mind, I've got that little niggling feeling that just one issue's gonna go missing, like it did with the Eldar, like it did with the Votann. I'm hoping it doesn't happen with the World Eaters, because I have planned an entire 2,000 point army around what I'll be getting from Combat Patrol. I've also got to plan all the other characters out and do all the stat sheets for the Magical World, which obviously I should be doing tonight. I mean, I could have gone on doing that, but I'm in the mood for just getting a bit of painting done at the minute. So even if it's only just, in this case, base coating a few models that I should have done already, and then we'll come back to other stuff afterwards, then we'll be alright. Just for anyone who is watching, if you want to chat, ask questions, do anything, Clock Edits, good evening. Hello, how are you doing? Yeah, I was just saying, if you want to type anything, if you want to ask anything, if you want to say anything, providing you've got enough common sense in your head to realise that I'm a grumpy old man, and I have trigger happy mods, so please don't do anything like, let's see how fast we can get banned by typing this. You're gonna get banned fast. But we have a very nice community here where we do actually communicate. We talk to each other. To be quite honest, a lot of the time the conversation in the chat doesn't even involve me. I'm just the guy painting. Everything else is for all of you. Think of it as kind of a mini cafe or a friendly local game club where you can come in and just chat to your friends. Me being one of them, of course, but I just happen to be a place where you can come. And that includes the Discord server as well as coming to chat at the live streams. I know we do have people come in that are new, and not used to my format quite as much as others, because I do know it's a slightly odd format that I run. It's not the usual like live stream Warhammer people stream. I'm aware of that, mainly because I get sidetracked all the time. Probably not very far, in fairness. Graham, Ali might just do it just because you've asked a question now. It's like, well, no, I'll do it. You've asked a question, I'll do it now. And then she'll tell me she's done it, and then I'll have to go back and unban you. I can't really ban the resident resin dealer, can I? Dream Loops, hi, how you doing? Today's been better than yesterday, thank you for asking. But it's not been perfect. Generally, being ill for a day for me has knock-on effects due to medication, which makes it really fun. Really, really fun. And I've already taken my medication tonight, people, just in case you're asking. Yeah, you are in chat, Dreams. Dream Loops, you are in chat. You are in the portrait mode chat. Now, there is a horizontal mode chat if you wanted to have a bigger screen, if you're not watching on tablet or phone. And if you're watching on PC or laptop, you can go to a larger screen. It just shows you more of a messy desk, that's all it does. Everything else is here. So, you don't actually miss out on anything just by going to the smaller one. At the moment, I'm just base coating some Votann models while I wait for my D&D diorama or parts of it to dry. Because I only ever do my projects while I'm streaming, I don't do anything off camera. So anything I do, you get to see live. Mistakes, gritty bits, angry bits, and happy mistakes, all included. No editing, just raw footage. I just do everything online. So yeah, I'm just trying to fill a bit of time with small bits that I need to do. As I said, these are going to be going to a Patreon subscriber once I've finished base coating them and get them in the box ready to send. And then I'm going back over to the diorama to trim down the card layer that I've just glued on, and then make the bases, or cut out the card to go on top of the bases to... Excellent. Thank you very much, Dreamloops. Thank you very much. And yeah, I look forward to seeing you on future streams. If you've got stuff to do, you go do your stuff. Life doesn't stop for anyone, so have a good evening or afternoon, or regard. I'm not sure what time of day it is for you. I know it's like nearly 10 o'clock at night for me. And if you're in the UK like me, then it'll be the same time. But I know some people are slightly further east, so it's later, and some people are way further west, so it's much easier. Beaky! Me and Mick have decided we need to have a little bit of a thing. We need to arrange something so we can all get together. So, well, me and Mick can get together, but I think you might enjoy it as well. But Mick's going to be getting like a hotel or a B&B or something if he comes over. I don't know whether you'd be interested, but you're certainly invited. Right, there we go. So I can let them dry now, and hopefully I can go back over to the diorama and see how it's done. Ah, you're back on wide. Excellent. Yeah, so we haven't got anything set in stone at the moment. EB, I'm not got back to you on Facebook because I've been busy since I woke up. I kind of fell asleep halfway through the messaging. You messaged me like right round the time I was having a lock up, so I was exhausted halfway through and just gone. But yeah, these are now getting based up, ready to be sent to you. That's the last 5 models to be based, and they are going in the box. Get your address on it, and off they go. Now I want to move them out of the way so they don't get cluttered up with anything that I'm doing right now. But yeah, that's the Chthonian Guard. Based and ready to go to you. Along with everything else now. Everything's been done. Maneuver that out of the road. And now we need the dangerous thing. The thing that Sparkles hates me using because... almost. I'm guessing we're thinking Manchester. But I'm not sure. As I said, it's still to be arranged. I mean, in all fairness, Whitefield might be worth just going over to... yeah, going over further that way might be easier. And essentially recreating what we did last time might be the better option. Right, so let's try and crease this in so I've got a rough idea where I'm cutting. Just so I can get a rough line as to where it needs to go around. So that you can see where it's that curved section there. That's got to be done. So I can... oh, Manchester, right. Mick's decided it's Manchester. Problem is, I'm struggling to think of places where we can go, right, I know what we're going to be doing, roughly. Where can we do it? As I said, I don't smoke in my house, and there's not really... I wouldn't feel comfortable inviting people around and then everyone's got to sit outside in the freezing cold. Just because we're smoking. I'd rather go somewhere it's a little more comfortable so we can actually sit down and be comfortable. Now, I have a couple of ideas where potentially, but I would have to obviously speak and arrange to get that done. So that's gone round there. Let's get this trimmed as much as possible and as neatly as possible. We have already done Yorkshire. You are right. We've already done Yorkshire. You and Joey did London, but Manchester has not been done yet. I mean, if you get the right hotel, then that would probably be an easier setup. But as I said, I would rather people be comfortable in that situation, so it's then up to me to arrange room. Good evening, Lee. I've just noticed everyone saying hello to you, so which means that you've come in now, haven't you? So hello. And hello to everybody in the portrait mode who's scanning through on the shorts, I believe. I do notice that number going up and down, up and down, up and down quite a lot. If any of you want to stay, please feel free. We'll talk, we'll chat, you can ask questions. I might not necessarily have the answer, but I'll give it a go. And if you want to move over to the wider view where there's other people chatting without me. Yes, we can't be done with Yorkshire, but we've done Yorkshire. See, I'll be quite happy going back to Yorkshire because there are multiple people that I would like to see in Yorkshire, and I could turn that into quite a weird, wonderful trip for me. Because there are lots of people I know more people in Yorkshire that I talk to than I do in Manchester at the moment, which is weird. Essentially, that's my theory as well, Mick. As long as we can smoke, we're good. We've just got to make sure we can. And alright, I am in an area where it's not where we wouldn't be particularly frowned upon, but obviously a hotel, they're gonna make us go outside as well. Your dinner, nice pan of oh, it's Thursday, isn't it? Yes, lasagna night. How could I forget? Okay, so we have the dirt section up here now for what is gonna be. So if I angle it now, you can. No, don't angle it because I just realised I've put things on the back. So remove all the characters from the back and then angle it. So as you can see then, it's going to go from this up to the dirt packed road. Which hopefully is going to work well. I've got to figure out how I'm going to fill in this section underneath. So this seam around the bottom, there is a little bit of a gap that I need to fill in. That's probably going to end up being like the rock here, so it's probably going to end up being filler because all this is built into the rock. That's just compacted dirt now on top. But I need to know how many characters are up there and how many circles I need to cut out to go up. So just while I remember, let's put Bunny back. And back up on the top there, so all the characters that are in are on. So I need my characters because I know there's I think 4 to go on here on this section, and then the rest are going up here, and then I've got to find the bases to put them on and cut all the little circles out. Let me first of all find the characters, which are in this little box here. Now we do have a few characters left. I'm not sure. Did I separate? Yeah, I did. Right. Okay. So those are the 4 that will be going up onto the mountain near the bat, which is the gunslinger bird, the rogue dual wielding dagger penguin, and then a family. Each one looks like a critter and one looks like a tiny little dragon thing. But they're all going on the mountain side, so we can come back to them. However, on the compact dirt side, which we've just glued down, we have how many? How many do we have? We have the little ram with a... So that's definitely a cleric, straight off the bat. We have an owl with a sword. Whether or not I make him paladin or fighter, I'm not sure. We have the displacer beast, a little tiny one licking the back of its paw. We have the monk otter, I think. We also have the little mushroom man. And we have my favourite character out of them all, which is the dual threat tongue bard frog thing. Oh, sweet. Yeah, you should be able to get from Colchester to Manchester. I don't live too far from certain mooring points on the Manchester Ship Canal either. So that is an absolute bonus. If you could get him to chug along with that, yeah, I'll sort the rest. I'll even send you the pub where you can moor, and there won't be any issues then because you've got a pub next door to go get your food from. You've got a barge to live on or stay on. It'll be awesome. So we have 2, 4, 6. So I need 6 bases. 6 bases. There they are. So we get the bag of bases. Now we get the bag of plain bases, not the bag of textured bases. And we need 1 for him, 1 for him, 1 for the kiddie, 1 for the toad guy, 1 for the monk, and 1 for the frog. Now, it's a big bad 3 times. No, yeah, you should still be fine. It's because it's a mooring point. It's wider. You should be okay. I think there's only 1 lock near it. I'm not sure how many from you to here is going to be, but yeah, I think there's only 1 lock directly near it behind the pub. I'll message you the... In fact, I can do that on Instagram, can't I? I'll take a screenshot of the aerial view of where the pub is and send you the name of the pub, and then you can throw a few details to your friend and go, can you get there? Which means going to... In fact, I'll be quicker doing it. It'll be easier doing it on my phone, but I can't do it right now because I'm using my phone as a camera. But it would be much easier to just do that on my phone because I can screenshot it. Lots of easy stuff. But while I am on here, I can remember to go get the Arius Nation and get the music ready, just in case I need it. It does help. Oh dear. I'm going to have to go read that. And I've just had a message from... Oh. I said I had a message from Graham, but apparently I don't. That's odd. Work in progress, general chat. Yeah, just stick it in general chat, Mick, and we'll be able to get it from there. So, back to this stuff. And my pencil. Where's my pencil? Or a pen. Just something that will draw. Please. Will this do it? Yeah, that draws. See? That draws. Oh, no way. That is. No. That's not nice. He dumped his girlfriend so she grassed him up. That's just pure vindictiveness. So that's one base. Obviously, I'm going to try and get as many as I can out of a single bit. You know when you can feel somebody staring a hole in you. I think Sparkles has been listening quite intently to the conversation between me, Mick, Buzzard, Graham, pretty much anyone else who's being involved. I could feel her looking at me. Not so much in a bad way, more of in a when are you planning this, and are you going to be okay? Kind of staring a hole into the back of my head. A loving way. A loving way. I hope, anyway. If not, then yeah. This stream may end rather abruptly with a frying pan. I don't involve you. Spark. No, I'm involved. Graham, you're involved in everything. If I'm getting in trouble, you're getting in trouble with me. Sorry, mate. It's that kind of friendship now. If I'm getting in the crap, you're getting in the crap with me, whether you're not you're involved. In fact, we might just get you to come over. I might just get Mick T to go get you. Stick a bag over your head, stick you on the barge, and kidnap you for the weekend. Have you in probably a situation where you're gonna you're not probably not going to be comfortable for the first half an hour to an hour, but then you're going to loosen up so much, and you're not going to have a choice in the matter just being in the room with us. You're just gonna have to chill. You'll be swearing like a sailor in no time. Okay, so that should be the 6 pieces that I need for that. That means I need a pair of scissors. Scissors? Nah, I've not met your wife, but I've met Mick T. You'll be getting kidnapped. Scissors! Where's my scissors? I'll just need a pair of scissors. That one will do. They look sharp. They look like they could kill me. Oh, that's a satisfying sound. I do like that sound. Good job I've got no hair to catch by mistake, isn't it? So, careful as we can, cut the circles out. And then we can glue them onto the bases. And then we've got the 6 bases ready for the next 6 characters to be painted. But we can't do that until we've got somewhere to put them. Now I know a lot of the characters have various different bases that they don't actually match if you were to use them on a standard tabletop. But they will match when they're on the diorama. Or match the areas that they're studying. That is a good point. Hello to anyone new who is in either of the streams. whether you're in portrait or in the horizontal mode. So if you're skipping through the shots and you happen to just linger a little bit longer, please feel free to stay. Please feel free to stay. I'd appreciate it, and I'm sure the other people in chat would appreciate it as well, because then you've got someone to talk to rather than just me and my dulcet, boring tones. Especially when I'm trying to concentrate on something, I can't always glance up and spot the chat. Again, Ali's reminding me that I'm on YouTube and technically a YouTuber, so I should do the please hit the like, subscribe, and all that. Yeah. There's links in description down below if you want to join Discord or even just help out with the channel. I said a few weeks ago, if I can get enough funding to send them off, then I will be sending the Genestealer cults off from the combat patrol. Either painted or unpainted. I'll give whoever I'm sending them to the option. EB doesn't get the option, he's got to paint all his himself. But that's the Leagues of Votann. And they're not wholly difficult, it's basically little squat Space Marines. Some of them have a bit more skin on show. Most of them have some kind of armour. I'm not sure, are the Votann actually part of the Imperium or are they just allied? That's something I'm not sure on. You're back for a couple of minutes. No worries, Dream Loops. No worries. Couple of minutes, however long you wish to stay for, that is perfectly fine. That's number 3. And obviously these are to go onto the bit that we just trimmed down. Oh, don't point the scissors at you like that, you absolute idiot. You're going to do yourself a damage. Which is surprising I've not injured myself more while I've been doing this channel. The amount of times that I've come so close to slipping with like craft knives and scalpels and scissors and sharp implements. The drill's a fun one. The amount of times that I've nearly drilled that. Now I am cutting out circles from this so that when, because there will be other people asking this question as well, but I've not posted it. So what I've done is I have glued the section here across the top to fill the white section in. Now each one of these little circles will get glued onto a base, so it can go on there, and then each one of those bases will be getting a character on it so it can match the level that they're actually stood on. Now I've already done the same with like this section here, so take Dave and David, the green, the purple and the red lollipop or popsicle sticks that are on his base actually match up to where he's going to go on that base. So Chester, who is also green, purple, red, goes just there behind him. See? And then all the bases match up to where they're standing. Same with down here and down here. Just so on each level they're matching. No worries, man. We'll see you later. Thank you very much for coming in twice and hitting that subscribe button. Thank you. So I'm just going to move that out of the way because it's still not fully dry yet. I don't want to disturb it while it's not dry. I've done that enough with things and it goes horribly, horribly wrong. And things get squidged all over the place. No worries, man. No worries. As I said, I will answer questions. If people have questions, please feel free to ask. There is such thing as a stupid question, but as long as it's relevant, it's not. Yes, Monday evenings too, and well, this week it wasn't a Wednesday morning, was it? I ended up going Wednesday evening because I wasn't well. I say I wasn't. I'm never bloody well. Let's face it. I'm never well. I'm just medicated enough to the point where I can do this. Thanks, Mick. I mean, it was set out to be a year-long project. I know I wasn't going to be able to rush it and get it done like I do with some of the projects where I know I rushed them quite a lot. But this one I'm taking my time with because it is 4 Sparkles. And even if we never get a chance to play a D&D game with it, she's got a nice little diorama with characters and cute little animals and stuff on it that we've got for a display piece. Just to fill in one of the holes from the IKEA unit that we have with the television on. You know, one of them big, long 8-hole things. Well, 8 square slots. Got one of them. Got the television on it. It's like Hotel California, you can't get out. That's it. Once you're in, you can't get out. I think you're underestimating Mick there a bit, Graham. I think you are underestimating Mick and what he could do with a burlap sack. And enough motivation. Not a problem, Ali. You have a good night and good luck with work tomorrow. Learning more new systems. Lots more new systems. It feels weird. I've not got my lid on. I can feel the draft on my head. Why I wear my lid? So it stops the draft. Also, having just completely shaved my head with clippers and a razor doesn't help. So there we go. We have the 6 circular bits to go on to the 6 basey bits. I could do it with super glue to get it as a quick one. I could. No, I'm going to PVA it. I know it takes longer to dry, but it's safer in the overall scheme of things. Where did I get these bases from? I can't remember where I got these bases from. I hope they're not for anything that I need to use them for. I know I do have spare bases, but I don't want to use them if they're not supposed to be. But I think these ones are alright because they were the plastic bag ones. Once we've done this, we can also create the start off of what type of bard do we think Chester should be. Because there's lots of types of bard. Eloquence. I'm thinking more making him like the scholarly type bard. So he's borderline more of a caster than a performer. So it's an old storyteller type bard and do it that way. It is very tempting to do it like that. So this should be the last one for the 6th base. Yeah, Mick's in charge. And this is why I go back to the point where I say I don't control my moderators, because this channel, regardless of it being me behind the camera, is for the people in chat more than me. You all just come to keep me company, and then you run riot in chat. And not necessarily run riot, but you have your own conversations, you talk to each other, and it's not the focus isn't on me. Everyone in here can chats to each other. So okay, so we have the 6 bases left to dry for these 6 characters. We have that drying on there, but it needs Mod Podging. I don't have any epoxy left. The weekly reenactments. Yeah, that's fine, Graham. You can be your side. I'll be my side. You should have chat off. Oh, that's fine. That's fine. I've noticed that a lot of people who do come in to see me and on both sides, whether it be the portrait or the horizontal, not everybody chats. Not everybody wants to. Some people like to just lurk, watch, and see what's happening and what's going on. Again, perfectly fine. No issues with that. So let's move all the board people over there so they're out of the way a minute. And the spare sprue that I should have moved earlier. These guys can go back in the box now because I know the number of them. I just don't know which order I'm painting them in. That's up for Sparkles to choose. I just know I'm doing the ones on top of the mountains at last. Not that type of epoxy, Graham. I mean the like green stuff type epoxy. So I can knead it together and kind of push it into gaps. Unless you have got literally 4 litres of... Oh, you're watching the riots in Birmingham. Oh, yeah, I can't have that on at the moment. I'll get blocked. I have been doing a lot of looking up regarding what the Royals have been up to recently, though, and yeah, that's amused me quite a bit. So, Mod Podge. Where did I put my Mod Podge? I know I've got it somewhere. I've got a brush for it. Nice old battered brush. But where did I put my Mod Podge? Is it in the kitchen by mistake? It might be in the kitchen. Bear with me a second. Should be over. Aha. Oh. I don't have my black one. There's my black one. See, I've got 2 normal matte white ones, but I have one that's pre-mixed with black paint, and I've just spotted it. Which is this one. Pre-mixed with black paint, so I don't have to Mod Podge it and then paint it afterwards as well. I'm still going to have to paint it, it's just the base coat's already done. Sort your knife out, put the blade away, and move the bases into a stack so they can dry quickly, hopefully, without all getting stuck together. We don't want them stuck together. Oh right, yeah. Now I know what you mean. Because yeah, they've done that, haven't they? Certain fans can't come over to watch it, certain fans can, and then it's like, well, that's discrimination, you can't do that. Yeah, but you're going to come over and start a fight. We don't want that. And it just ends up being a great big whopping mess. Right, move the bat off the top before I knock him off. And now we're going to paint all this with the black Mod Podge. If I can open it, because it's not been open for a while. There we go. I'm not sure how much I've got left, but I should have enough to at least paint the corrugate. Whew! Jeez! That is a smell and half, that is. Trying not to get it onto the boards underneath or the thingy on top. That's going to be the fun bit. I probably should have painted this before I even glued it down. So I might have to end up repainting some of the lolly sticks or popsicle sticks, depending what you want to call them. But it at least gets this nice and sealed in. So right near the edges, I am going to have to fill it in with something or repaint the actual sticks back to the original colour. But getting it all done nice and black and sealed in so I can paint it easier will be a good idea. For some reason, it seems to have gone really bloody runny. I'm not entirely sure why. What? Yes. No, this weekend I know I've got a kid's birthday party to go to. Not my kids, one of the friends from schools, but an adult has to be there because it's laser tag and bowling. So they do have to have an adult accompanying them. I've got a feeling I'm going to get shot to hell in laser tag because I'm going to be the biggest target. I'm probably the easiest one to hit and spot. This is providing, of course, I am the one taking Mini Laz and Sparkles doesn't decide she's the one taking it. In which case, Sparkles probably won't be in the laser tag. She'll play she'll go bowling. Oh, I completely go bowling, but maybe not the laser tag. But no, run this along there just to neaten that up and show me where I'm going to have to fill in properly. And now more drying time. Drying times, in fact, I'm also going to get some on this bit up here. Just because I know I'm going to have to put something on here and I may end up having to spray something that would corrode foam. So if you have to do anything at all with solvents in, never done laser tag. I don't know. I don't think I have either. But I will be going, because I will be playing against children. I will be walking around like I'm a Space Marine, and no mercy. No mercy. If you want mercy, don't invite me. Or don't let me in. Even my own son won't get it, don't worry. He'll get shot with a laser just as much as everybody else. You have to learn, it's not a nice place all the time. But just, this bit is not, diorama's too big, I can't get it all in camera. Yeah, so it's this bit on top of the mountain that I'm doing at the moment. Again, just so I can seal it in and then paint it in properly. Because that's not going to be the base. Something else will become the base for the models that go up there. And give that brush a damn good beating, otherwise it doesn't come clean. As I said, Graham, I will play pretty much any type of game. Board game, laser tag, bowling, tabletop RPGs, computer games. I just like games. I am slightly competitive. So, Much to my son's dismay, yeah, I am competitive. I can put that back there. That's gonna need cleaning with something, and I don't have anything. Don't ask why I'm talking like that. I have no idea. Well, I don't have anything to clean it with. I do have these to put on though, so you can actually see what I mean when I'm saying for them to fit on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Move you a bit further forward, and I can put you on the back corner there, and then that's all 6 bases that will be going on to the top, and they do fit quite well. They don't fit 100%. They're not as flush as the ones for these sections, which I'm definitely going to have to repaint because of that black ring that's through there. Once I'll cover it with epoxy. Maybe. I'm not sure. But I also remembered there's something else I have to do on this, which is the greenstone vein. So like the axe, don't come off. So like the axe and a lot of the other stone weapons where they're slightly green with a purple wash, they do get them from this section as a mine. You've got a Mod Podge on you, so we'll have to take you out. Okay. So that means painting them green and giving it a purple wash afterwards. So the bluey areas here where I've epoxied in, those bits I've got to paint green. And in this case it's the Saborite green from Citadel. So that's what I'm going to do. These small sections of rockfall that have been, hopefully to look like they've been melted by fire. There's a little fire breathing creature that goes there, which is obviously him. And he helps the blacksmith by smelting and things. I am putting thought into some of the characters, you know. It might not seem like it sometimes. But I am putting thought into story and background for the characters. Or at least the ones where I'm not asking for help. Some of them I am asking for help, especially with names. I'm going to have to do an entire stream just on that soon, aren't I? Just making sure I go through all the names, classes, stats, backgrounds, how they ended up on the magic. In fact, I don't even know how has this magical world ended up. I don't know how they've ended up on this magical world of sparkles and oak. I don't even know how it's come to pass. I know that is a portaled off place, so it's almost like a micro dimension all to itself that they can get out of to go and adventuring. But how did they all get here? I've not figured that bit out yet. Although I am looking forward to laser tag on Saturday if I'm going. It isn't if I'm going, because we usually alternate, and I can't remember who went last. So I think if Sparkles took Mini Lads to the last birthday party, then it's my turn to take him to this one. Okay, so there's the nice big green bit. I just need to... Now that needs to dry, and I can put the purple wash over it, so it can become the strange magical stone that they use for weapons. Something akin to eventually silvering your weapons, so it will count as a magical weapon when it comes to resistances and things. So that's got to dry, that's got to dry, they've got to dry, that's got to dry, that's got to dry. All of them have got to dry. I'm just doing a general waiting for stuff to dry at the minute, aren't I? I do know one thing though, I don't have a cup of tea. Do not have a cup of tea. So we kind of know what that means, don't we? I need a brew. And I'm sure everybody else would like a cup of tea as well. So I'm going to take a small break while I go make myself a cup of tea. If anyone else would like to do the same, I don't blame you, because there's going to be a whole waiting screen. You should, if you've been here before, you are used to this. This is the Rogues Den Hobbies promotion screen while I'm waiting. If you do go to Rogues Den Hobbies, then please use the code LAS10 at discount to get yourself 10% off. It helps Rogues Den Hobbies more than anything else. So please do that. And if you're wondering why I'm advertising it so much, it's because that's where I get my proxies from. So all my Space Marine proxies and some of my, well, both Space Marine and World Eater proxies have come from there. This is why I advertise it. It's one range is just so fantastic. So I shall put some music on for you, and then we can go from there. If I can find one that still we've run. What's this? Oh, we've done some of this one anyway. Okay, this is quite not normal for me, but it's more than sufficient. So I shall be back in a few moments. Please hang around, or come back if you are going to make a drink yourself, and I shan't be long.
Legends born in bars and fights. Now we dance them back to life. We are the echo of legends, ringing through back streets, through bass and confessions. Drums of the past, still shaking our chest in. This is our fire, our name, our entrance. love you. The night's alive, and so are you. Barefoot shoes and smoke in the air. We found ourselves just being there. Ashes there, where stories begin. Every spark, a dead sin. Not chasing gold, not chasing time, just chasing heat in the neon shine. We burn bright in the firelight, hearts wild, nothing feels right, but we don't care, we don't hide, we're alive in the firelight. Maps can't hold the path we chose. We lit the dark with what we know. Not for fame, not for the fight, just to feel the firelight. We burn bright in the firelight, hearts wild, nothing feels right, but we don't care, we don't hide, we're alive in the Tell me what's more true than this, a moment lost in wild bliss. The embers sing, the drums ignite, we find our souls in the firelight. We burn high in the firelight, hearts wild, nothing feels right. We rise loud, we ignite, we're alive in the
And no, I don't need that no more. But I need to take this off now. Well, they're all drying now. Lots of glue drying, lots of paint drying, lots of Mod Podge drying, super glue drying, lots and lots of things drying. So what do I need to do now? What can I do now in the meantime? Catch up on chat would be a good one, wouldn't it? Yeah, Evie, there is something big going on at the moment over here. Either one of those two channels that Mix recommended, the AY audits or 2CTV, they will give you the coverage for it. There's a lot of stuff going on over here at the moment that's not being covered as much as it should, but that's a different matter. So we need to do the top layer now, which is going to be going up behind the final layer, which I've just done the basis for and just glued the paper on. There's going to be a smaller layer behind that as well. That's going up to lead onto a straw roof. I can't remember how tall it is though. Or how tall I'm going to need it to be. Now, I don't need it to be as tall as the corrugated section. I think I only need it to be about, at most, about 3 inches. So it doesn't need to be too tall, but I'm gonna have to. It's gonna have to be quite. To reach the bottom of the floor, it's always going to be the same height as all of it, and then 3 inches standing over the top. So let's find out how tall it is first. So I can actually get a good measurement and then start making blocks for that. So it stands at 5.5 inches. So 1, 6. That's going to be another 8.5 inches tall, but only like an inch or so wide. There's lots of those boxes to make. Now, is this going to be enough? I'm not sure, because it's going to have to be two. It's going to have to be like. How deep is it going to have to be? I didn't think about that bit. How deep is it going to have to be? And depth-wise, it is 2 and 2, 4, 6, 2 7/8 inches. So there you go, 2CTV. Both Mick and Buzzard are staking on that one. See, that's a good one. That is a nice one. So we need the. So it's not 8.5 inches this way. It's too sharp. Obviously, it's definitely over 8.5 inches that way. But am I going to be able to? How many of the? It's not going to be 5, is it? No. So I'm not getting the back sheets out. Pardon me, out of this one. Hello, Leo. Yeah, a hatless stream. It feels weird because I've only just shaved my head, so it feels weird putting a hat on it. So I'm going to wait till tomorrow before I can get another hat on it. And then I'll be back to normal. Back to normal, me with my lid. So 2 7/8 twice, and then 2 inches, and then 8.5. Oh, this is going to be difficult to work out. Right, let's put this right up so it's flush. And because we are looking at like 2 7/8, and that is the Tusalink. Thank you very much, Mick. Thank you for putting that in. So yeah, anyone wishing to keep up to date on what's going on in the UK at the moment, there is a link that Mick T has posted if you wish to find out how much of the crap show we're having over here at the moment. That's 2 7/8 there. And then we want to do the same again from there. And then we want 2 1-inch marks from that section. This is pretty much going to use a full sheet, I think. That's the 2-inch mark. And there is the 1-inch mark. So 1 wall, 2 wall, 3. And that's only going to make 1. I'm not sure if that's going to hold it up, you know. I'm really not sure if that's going to hold it up. Only one way we'll find out. So it's 8.5 inches. Yeah, we're better off going along this road first. Line that up, right up against it, and that there. And if we do the same along this side, which is coming, in this case, it's coming down 8.5 inches. And then just to make sure I can line it up straight, get the edge of the ruler on there so it is right and level, and put an 8.5 inch dot there. And then we can go straight down this bit, and then we know we've got the end piece and we know where we're going up to. So that's the 8.5 inch line to make sure that we've got the full height. Now, line that up neatly with that line. Sorry for getting my head in the way and anyone got blinded by that then. I know the light reflects off my shiny head. And then we can come down there for that one. Same again on this one. Just making sure we are flush against that line and we are coming down through the dot that we made there. And then the last two, which are the 1 inch ones. Again, as flush as we can to the end so it's straight. And then through the dot that we made. And again on this one, it's about a millimetre out actually from the 8.5 inches, which isn't good. It's not going to make too much of a difference to the overall aesthetic of it, because it is going to be a top layer and there won't be anybody up there, so it shouldn't be too bad. I wouldn't quite go saying it's Breaking Bad. I don't think anyone's got any RVs doing meth. But yeah, there's certainly a degree of criminal activity going on. For you, it is 11. So yeah, no, you're in the UK, same as us. Nice to see you again, Dreams. Yeah, 11 o'clock it is as well, isn't it? Jeez. I've still got so much to do. And all tonight is going to be pretty much setting up for things to dry for next week. How fun is that? But that means we can actually start cracking on with things a little bit better and easier next week. But let's get the cutting done. Now, if I do this big enough, I should be able to put it on kind of sideways or at an angle, and then put the topper piece on top. It should only be one big plinth that I need to do the final top layer. providing this knife is going to be sharp enough and he's not going to mess me about. I cut through the paper layer nice and fine, and if we just go through slowly, scoring layers through, don't try and be smart and cut it through in one foul swoop, because we know that doesn't work and it just drags at the foam on the inside. But it does take about four cuts through so we can get a clean cut to come out. Then cut the excess bit off this side that we do not need. I've not even made a top for this, have I? Do I have anything that could make I think I do have something that could make a topper for it as a scrap piece, so I'm not too bad. Not that I need a topper, because I will be putting something else over the top anyway, but it just helps for something else to glue to and it can adhere to it then. So that's the excess piece done. Now we've got to be careful, because these are the actual side pieces and the bits that I'm going to be using to make it. You're going to go for a third time, no worries. Dream Loops, if you want to call in as many times as you want, feel free. If you've got the time to stay, that is wonderful. If you're busy though, go sort your stuff out, and hopefully I will see you on another stream. And I would be quite happy to invite you into our little community. So if you want to click the Discord link, feel free. The Discord is completely free as well. I know I mentioned Patreon earlier, but there is only one thing that is behind a paywall, and that is the room to talk to me through the one-on-ones. That is the only thing that's behind a paywall. And that happens about 4 times a year. Give or take. Obviously, if the more Patreon members I get, the more I'll have to start spacing that out, because I don't have loads of time. Being a parent and having many other things to deal with as well. Let's face it, if I could, I would do this as a full-time job. But I am not in the position to at the moment. Either mentally or physically. But yeah, look forward to seeing you again, mate. Thank you for calling in. Now we need the point. Now I need to do this bit, which is scoring the bits that need to overlap to make the box. So knowing that I'm going to need it to be as thick as the foam itself, if I can just line the foam up instead of trying to be smart and trying to measure and go, well, it's 5 mil, so I can measure that. Now if I just put the foam on it, make sure the foam's straight, I can just draw down the foam. Being cack-handed doesn't help sometimes. Especially because I've got to do that. See, that's not even lined up right. I should have done it the 5 mil, shouldn't I? I should have used a ruler rather than trying to use the foam. Is that bit squidged out of position? I'll just try and check that this is all about 5 mil. Not quite. This is why you should always make sure you measure and remeasure before you make any cuts. Because sometimes you may get it slightly wrong. So there you go, put a big dark line on it so I know which one it is. And I'm just going to measure the 5 mils from now on. That's a 5mm into that. One there. In fairness, measuring 5mm is not that difficult, really. If we would have just done it in the first place, I wouldn't have made a mess of that other one. Candidness does rule, you're right. It is fantastic, but it does have its disadvantages sometimes, especially when you're using things like a right-handed ruler. So you've got to kind of use it backwards. Doesn't always help. Line up the dots. And then one line down. There we go. That's easier. I like that. Same again. And we rinse and repeat on all 4 of these pieces. Then we're going to score them, glue them together, and just to make sure, I'm going to see if this piece can be cut down to make the lid. Just to make it a little bit more sturdy. And stop it wobbling as much as the others did when I was doing them. Because they squidged and wobbled all out of position really easily without much persuasion. We don't want that. We really don't want that. And that's providing, of course, I've got all the other measurements correct in the first place. Because if not, I've just wasted an entire sheet of Funko. The only one I've got left now are the big black ones, which I usually use for photos. But I'm not in a big rush to use them. I can go to the works and get more tomorrow, but I'd rather just get it right first time. That way I don't have to go out and buy more. I hope Villa win tonight. There we go. Right, so how long is this piece? Okay, so that should be easy enough now to mark up and score to try and make the lid. Do you not pause it or anything when you do that, Graham? Like if you're moving away from your desk, do you not just decide, right, I'll just pause it here so it's not recorded and I'm not using up loads of hard drive space? And then just click record again when you come back to your desk. The brief times that I've done recording, I found that to be easier. And it saves a lot on hard drive space as well. But then again, you are recording in like 4K, so it's just going to be a massive file in the first place. Why I try and generally keep it to 1080. just to make it easier. Fair enough. If you forget, you forget. There's not much you can do about that, really. Now, to make the lid, I'm going to have to do all 4 edges. So I'm going to have to do the little bevelly thing around all 4 sides, so it'll slot in at the top. That's the theory. And if we can get it to work, it'll be awesome. I'm not doing a base, I'm just going to do the top. And once I've cut it out and started gluing it together, I'll show you where it goes on the actual diorama. Nope, that's 6mm. That's 5mm. That's 5mm, so I can at least join them ones up now. So we've got that one, which wasn't right. Through the slit. We've got that line, and then that line, and then we repeat it again on the other ends. Trying not to blind people with my bald head while I'm getting in front of the camera. Got that one there, and then I need to do my very, very best, what I can do. There we go. So now join them 2 up. And then the final one to come down there. That's wonky. You don't want wonky. We want straight and neat. Which I know you're all thinking, Lars, this is you. I don't think you've done anything neat in your life. I do try. I do try. I didn't get that last message. Dream Loops. Came up with a blank one for some reason. But you have a good evening. Seems you are quite busy. So I hope you do have a good evening. And then last set of dots to join. There we go. Right, lots of dangerous cutting-y bits now. So I hope Sparkles is prepared, because this is the time when I'm more likely to do myself some damage. Oh, that is a good cup of tea. That is a good cup of tea. Even if I do say so myself, which obviously I've just done. Right, so start with you, and we don't want to cut all the way through because we want that last backing paper to stay intact, because that's what we're going to use as a tab to glue along. It's just very lightly scoring through. fact, I'm going to shorten the blade to the point where I don't think I could actually get all the way through even if I wanted. That should help. A tiny bit of more length on it. Get the ruler back in place. Because you make more mistakes just by being careless than anything else. I want to hear it cutting through the foam, but I definitely don't want to hear it cutting through the paper behind it. Right, there we go. Now's the difficult bit. Because now's when we've got to try and cut into and cut down here. You see, literally going down the side of it with no guide. Nothing really to keep my hands steady other than willpower and concentration, and then hopefully the majority of that just pops off. Hopefully. If it doesn't, we just come back in a little bit and make sure we've cut far enough through. And there we go. So scrape away the foam edging, which is always fun. So we always end up with little bits covering the desk that take ages to find and clean up. Francois, welcome in, and good night, Graham. Good night. You have a good sleep, mate. Friday tomorrow, last day of the working week, and then you can concentrate on the personal side of what you want to be doing, such as your video editing and finishing off that big clunky stick, also known as a hammer, for the painting guide on the Bearman. So if anyone actually wants a unofficial guide on how to paint World Eaters, consider going to watch Rogue's Den Hobby's instructions on how to paint a Space Bear. Because believe it or not, same bloody colours. Reds and brasses or reds and golds. It's essentially World Eater colours. But as a guide, it's it's a lot better than what I do. I don't do guides as such, I just kind of tell you what I'm doing as I'm doing it. If you hear a good idea and go, ooh, that's not a bad one, I want to copy that, then fair enough. But yeah, I don't give guides. I don't think I'm in the position where where I'm talented or capable enough to do a guide to painting something. I can just give you ideas and options that I've done. And it's not like I can even take credit for a lot of the things that I've done and tried in the past, because I found them just like everybody else would on YouTube. Mostly one specific channel, but some off others. I can't give him all the credit, just most. So what is everybody else working on tonight, if anything, for that matter? Because some people might not be working on anything at all and might be having me as a podcast while they potter around the house doing a bit of cleaning. But as I do tag myself up to be like D&D Warhammer-esque, you're nearly at 500. Nearly at 500 on that yellow leg. You'll get there before the end of the year, Francois, don't you worry. Just like I'm hoping to have 90% of this done by New Year's. I was really stupid that with knife in my hand just go scratching my face, isn't it? That's clever me. I said, do not follow me for instructions, tutorials, or general good practices. I do so many things wrong. I may get a result that's acceptable, but my journey to get there is not usually the journey that most people would take. Mostly because of my own fault, because I don't follow guides. Rather try and figure things out as I'm going along. But other than that, yeah, I'm not a tutorial type of person, but I do seem to get the effects that I want, even if it's by accident. I have been, since the conversation last time, Francois, and with you and Twisted, I have been tempted to try this glazing thing and this painting in many thin layers to get a much smoother gradient through the actual colour. I've been tempted. I've not done it yet, but I've been very tempted. It's just that I know glazing would take a very long time, and with me only painting on camera, I don't think it would make very good viewing. I just realised that I'm doing this behind the chat box for the portrait mode answer, so let's move it to the side a bit so you can actually see that I am scraping off the foam. That's those two pieces done. Now for the two big ones. This is should be the final big block that I have to make for this. Should be. Because on top of this is getting glued a very small half circle, and then from there just a bit of card to glue what would be the roofing structure on. Not quite sure how I'm going to manage a thatched style roof. That's something that I've got to think about. Now, I was going to use kind of extreme fine shredded paper and see if that would work. Painting it yellows and browns and then gluing it over. But I have a feeling last time I tried that it didn't work. But there's part of me that's going in my head going, no, that should work. That should work. Why is it not working? So I might try that again, and if it doesn't work, scrap it and go try and essentially just go buy some straw from a pet shop. Then it's already painted, already the right colour. I just have to glue it in place. Well, it's not painted, it's just naturally the right colour because it's straw. Another piece. Almost dropped my blunt metal sword, which I use, also known as my metal ruler. Scrapey. Now there is a way to do this to make the noise that people don't like, and I'm trying to avoid that as much as possible. I believe I may have lost some viewers to go look at some political stuff. I'm hoping I still have my moderator in, or at least one of them. There were two, well there were three at one point, but then there were two, and I think they may have both ran off to go look at political things. which means I'm my only mod. I'm going to have to open up YouTube then, aren't I? Actually, no, because there's nothing going on at the minute. I'm fine. I don't have to open YouTube because there's nothing that needs moderating at the minute. Which I'm glad of. Most of the time, there is not much that needs moderation on my channel. Very, very little. Except for the occasional moron who wants to come in and spam things in the chat. And this is the one that's, this is the one that's all skew whiffed, isn't it? So I've got to be careful as I'm lining this one up. There we go. Now we just need to make sure we've got the nick in the top there. And it does come all the way down. And make sure we've got the nick in the top on the other side, just so that when we do come in from the side, it's ready to actually come out and come off. We don't want to have to sit here hacking into it more than necessary. Come on. I always try and leave at least a little bit of foam behind that I've got to scrape off, because otherwise I'll come too close to actually cutting through the other side. So sometimes I get a nice big chunks of foam that have to come off, like this one. This is good 2mm of foam that I'm scraping off now. Just because I had to leave that amount of room to be safe. Scrape all the foam off the tab that we need for gluing. We have to make our own tabs for gluing. All fun. I'm hoping that putting a lid on it will keep it a little bit more secure than the others, because the last lot I didn't put lids on and they were bending and misshaping very quickly. So I'm hoping that by putting a lid on this, it will help secure it and keep it in place. And that will, once I've put this in and glued it on, that will be it for tonight. Again, some of these aren't lasting as long as I would like, just because of the bane of my channel, which is dry time. Drying time is just annoying. Everything should be instant set and instant dry. No, it shouldn't, because then you have problems even more, but it should dry quicker. You should be able to choose whether you want instant dry or not instant dry. Yeah, it's that side I've done. Right, so it's this side that I need to come back and... This is the last one. Should be the last of the ruler needed. Now we just got to cut that out there. And then down the side there. Again, trying not to go too close to the actual back paper that we want to keep, and trying not to cut our thumb at the same time. Do not fancy a trip to hospital because I've just sliced half my thumb open. Already done that once. Not fun. Granted, they didn't have to do much apart from essentially put a bit of a bandage over it, because compression works, people. to the point where I'd already got to hospital and it had already started healing because I'd compressed it well enough, just with a red t-shirt. And that's why I've got a little scar on the back of my thumb. Not that anyone asked, but I thought I'd tell you. And cautionary tales are usually good things. Because then you get to find out and go, oh yeah, that's actually, I didn't think about that. And it stops you from doing silly mistakes like I make. But if you see any happy accidents, feel free to cop them. Okay, so that's gonna be the top. As you can see, I've cut 4, so all 4 round all 4, so it should just slot in and then hopefully hold it in place. Now for the difficult bit, because I'm using my 1, 2, 3 blocks to hold my phone. I'm gonna have to try and do this without a set square or a block or anything that's remotely gonna help to actually hold it in place. So glue down the edge. I'm going to glue down all the edges and then I'm going to try and put them together. 2. Wait, and this is just standard PVA that I'm using. 3+ years old school glue. And I don't mean it's 3 years old, I mean 3-year-olds can use it. So that goes in there like that. This one goes along in there like so. And then this one goes on that bit, but in the other one. Like that. So we should have a nice big tall tower. Now, as I said, just to try and help it stay roughly square and flush, we've built this to go into what I'm hoping is going to fit into there. So the measurements should fit. Now, I've done this before, so I'm not understanding why it's not. There we go. Why is that not? That's saying it's too big, and I've got a big gap on that one, and I'm not sure why. That doesn't make sense. No, there we go. But hopefully that's going to hold that in place now, so it's one big block. So let's glue it in place so we can have it all dried for next week. And then we can start working on the next set of characters and the corrugated section next week, because it should all be dry by then. So in the case of this big block, pardon me, let's just slide you on for a second. Come on, be nice. This big block is going to go there. So you can see how much height is actually going to be going onto this thing in general. It is going to be a tall tamale. So again, just bit of glue around the bottom just so it can hold in place. Pop that on. And this time, because we have dry fitted it, we know it fits, we can put the glue around the edge of this. I know I'm not sat at my desk at the minute, I'm just kind of stood next to it. So you can see my hands, but you can't see me. Well, that's a good thing actually, isn't it? Let's make everyone unhappy again and put me back on camera. So there we go. We have that block now waiting to dry, and then that's going to get a face on that and have a roof come down. So I may end up even cutting some of this off to make the roof so it is more slanting down and coming to cover this section by about an inch. So I may take some more off the top of this. Don't think I will though. It looks like roughly about the right height. I just need to figure out how I'm going to get the cone on top. So that is all the painting, the gluing, and all sorts of stuff that we had to get done tonight. And the floors are working the way up quite nicely. Just need to move them because apparently the glue's overspilling onto that, and I don't want it to distort the finish. And you can go up there, even though you're not right, and it's not the right thing that's going on it, just so I can wipe that glue off. And there we go. There we go. So for tonight we have managed to Mod Podge all across there, which is going to be the residential area along with this section up here. And then down there is obviously all the shopping areas with the Monk Merchant, the blacksmith, the bar. Sorry, can't see the bar there, can you? The bar, which is there. We's getting there, people. We is getting there. Slowly but surely we are building this diorama up and up and up. And it's looking more like it's going to actually be completed one day. Now there's lots of little bits that I need to tidy up now that I'm looking over it. These bits that I need to redo. So I'm going to have to take the bartender out and paint in the bar section. Look at doing that next week. Hopefully I'll have a name soon for him as well. But I do need to make sure that this bit, the big tall section that we've just made, stays where it is and dries. So out of the way and something weighted on top. Nothing too weighted on like I found out last week when I put Angry Ron on the top and he fell off and smashed. I had to glue them together. So in this case, it is going to be not an ashtray. I thought I was going to be able to put an ashtray on it. Nope, it's going to have to be Sparkles Special Dice. And there it goes, that's holding down. So what else do I need to do now? Because it is all drying time now. Have the Votan dried? Nope, the Votan haven't even dried, so they're going to have to get packed up tomorrow morning. So at that point, I'm going to call tonight done. And there's not much I can do on it because I'm waiting for drying things. See, sometimes I think filming would just be easier. Because then I can film it, wait for it to dry, carry on filming, edit it, and ta-da, the drying time's disappeared. But no. It's part of the hobby. You need to be aware of it, that not everything's going to be instant dink, 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 dink. I didn't even clip my fingers then. There you go. It's not going to be instant. It's not going to be quick. It's not going to be something that's so simple you can just go think, put it on, and then it's immediately ready to go. Unless you're working in large groups. So if you're painting 30 models, by the time you've done the 30th, the first one should have dried. But if you're working on a single piece, you've got to give it drying time. So thank you for everybody who's come to see me. Anyone who's newly subscribed. Dream Loops, for instance, 2 hours ago. Thank you very much for that. Anyone new here, if you do wish to hit the subscribe button or just join the Discord to ask questions about what's going on, help out, give input, do things like give character names, character suggestions, backgrounds, classes, anything for the magical world of Sparkles and Oak. It has to get okayed by the boss, obviously Sparkles, but she's quite easy and laid back when it comes to it. And as soon as she sees one, she knows pretty much what she wants and when she's going to get it. So I will see you all on Monday. Monday. What am I doing Monday? Oh, we're still working on World Eaters. We are still working on World Eaters because it's not going to be that long until we start getting the actual World Eaters from Combat Patrol. Wednesday, of course, it's going to be another issue of Combat Patrol, which is 2 paints, and then next Thursday is back to the magical world of Sparkles and Oak, where all that should have dried and we can start putting paint on the actual model itself. So again, thank you very much for everyone for coming. I look forward to seeing you all next week on any of the streams that you can make it to. And please enjoy yourself and drive safe.
Golden light spills on the ocean's face. We're just shadows in a perfect place. Every heartbeat caught between the waves. Pull me closer, I don't wanna wait. Colors fade, but you stay bright in the blue of endless night. Velvet horizon, take me away where the night falls slow and the dream